Hey everybody, Reefgrrl here. Welcome to the Tuesday point and shoot update for January 22nd, 2019. A few things have happened this week. Before I get into the topic I've kind of wanted to talk about for a while, which is should I be putting all this stuff in my tank, I'll show you a couple of the little things that have gone on in here. First thing is I opened up with my bucket list coral, the Cinerina, looking really good. Corals overall are doing extremely well, I think. I moved my Mycedium finally from behind the Duncan. It was in that place, it looks kind of blurry, but behind the Duncan, I moved it over into Mollywood. Hopefully it'll be far enough away from everything that it's not going to start stinging stuff, but time will tell. So it's no longer there, and that Montipora right there, the brownish one, has brilliant lime green polyps, and you can see the front edge of it is really badly damaged, and that was from the Mycedium. Plus, I'm pretty sure it must have been doing some stinging of the Duncan. While I was doing that, I broke off half of the Pocillopora with the side of my hand, so that also went into Mollywood just to see what it would do. The really good thing that has happened is with my Acropora, and I think this merits a top-down view. So there's my floating box. Oh yeah, before I forget, hang around to the end of the video if you want to see something scary. All right, so just generally taking a look at things, that is the Pagoda coral, and it is really doing well. For a while it was looking pretty bad during all the troubles that I had. And there we have the maize coral. Now, the tiger pistol shrimp moves that thing around, if you can believe it. It's on a big heavy rock, but it gets moved around constantly. Right there is the grafted Montipora that I brought back from the US, and it has really grown. These plating Monties are also doing well. Finally starting to grow again. There's a growth edge on there. And the sunburst is really developing a lot of gorgeous swirls. It looks great. So what I really wanted to show you though is the Acropora. And top down is the best way to see what's happening with them. They're basing out. Colors are good. Colors are finally normalizing to what they used to be before all the trouble. This one had red and yellow tinges on it. That encrusting Montipora has turned into a plating Monty. Then we have this guy. This is the Jason Fox Flame. And I'm happy to report we appear to have polyp extension going on. So happy about that. And it's also starting to develop the cranberry color that it's supposed to be getting. So that's awesome too. Hopefully any day now I'll start seeing the bright yellow come back to the tips like it used to be. Then if we move across to here is the cherry blossom. And check that out. The color is definitely coming back on this. It's supposed to have red polyps on yellowish green tips with green and blue in the body. Try and zoom in a bit more. And I love what I'm seeing here. So talk about come back from the dead. That's what's happening here. This is the branching Cyphastria, doing extremely well. And the best angle to see all of this is, of course, from above. Check out the bubble coral. Lucy. And Buster. And we've got Pocillopora. So this is the Millipora. I swear there were polyps out on this thing the other night when I looked with a flashlight during bubble scrubbing. It could just have been bubbles attached to the bumps, I don't know, but It was pretty awesome. And then this one, no branches yet, but I'm hoping. And you can kind of see there in the middle, I believe that is a bonsai. It is encrusting, basing out, but the branches disappeared when I had the big die off, and I haven't seen any pop up yet. Another bit of a tour. There's the citrus rhodactis, Space Invader pectinia. The eyes on it are getting really big. Stellata, really spreading out on the rocks there. I broke off the largest branch when I was trying to trim a dead spot, but it seems to have come back because it was really struggling for a while. My orange and green Florida Recordia. And we've got a couple of Plating Montes, Season's Greetings there. Another one there. And the purple one behind it. Let's see a few things. There's a chalice. This chalice from above looks much better than from the side. It is actually doing pretty well. I've got a couple corals coming tomorrow to put right on this rock where the torch used to be, and my hope is that they will branch out. I'm not going to say what they are till next week or next update. I'm hoping that they'll branch out and throw some shade on that chalice because I think it might be getting too much light. There's the Goniastria, Kryptonite Candy Cane, Chalice Garden from above. Wow. I love seeing all of this. Gold Chalice, Green Goblin Leptocerus, the other candy cane. And would you look at that? Oh my God. I did not know that mushroom was there. That looks like one of the green Rhodactis from back here in the back that we're getting. Oh, my fire and ice. I did not know those were doing so well either. Wow. Yeah, there's a bullseye Rhodactis splitting, but these Rhodactis were being chased away by the purple mushrooms of death. Check that out. Wow, that's pretty spectacular. There's the red mushroom, and it's got a baby. Yeah, look at that. So from the front, it's hidden behind this Platygyra, and it's on an angle, so there is no way to see that except from above. So that's very cool. Really happy about that. And here's the Turbinaria. Frog spawn. Fox coral. Wow. Jack-o'-lantern Leptocerus right there. Looking really nice. This is another acro that I believe is getting polyp extension. So, you know, in the grand scheme of things, how can I complain? Given the trouble I had months ago to where it's starting to come back now. Super pleased about that. And I see on my Duncans, it looks like I have flatworms again. I'll have to take a closer look at that later. So all of this ties in with what I wanted to talk about, which was all the stuff that I had been adding to my tank. The last time I added anything was before I went on vacation. Let's get into that a little bit, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This tank has been running for roughly 19 months, and over the course of that time, I have seen a ton of gorgeous tanks and heard about all kinds of products that people were using to help get their tanks to where they are now. And of course, who among us reef keepers doesn't want faster growth, brighter colors, bigger polyps? I know I sure do. So I bought a lot of these products to give them a try. Now don't get me wrong, I am not saying these products aren't useful in the right hands. I just don't think mine are the right hands because I don't think I have enough knowledge and experience yet to use them properly. even though I was super careful not to overdose. That is, if a particular product said use X 3 times a week and I had 3 products, for example, 3 different amino acids, I was not using all 3 at that dose 3 times a week. I cut it way back so that I didn't overdose, because that's the last thing you want, is to overdose something you're trying to use to help your tank. In the end, I'm pretty sure I did overdose my tank, especially with nutrient type additives. And I'm sure that contributed to the nutrient issues I had and still have in here. When I was getting ready to go on vacation last December, I was trying to find ways to make tank maintenance simpler for my daughter, who would be looking after it while I was away. That's when I made the decision that I was going to cut back and have her dose only what I considered absolutely necessary. This would ultimately serve 2 purposes. The first, of course, would be to make things easier for my daughter. The second, and maybe more important, would be to see how my tank looked after not using all of this stuff that I had been using for months. I have to admit, I was a little apprehensive, not about how well my daughter would look after the tank, because she always does a great job, but it was more about whether there would be any negative effects from the sudden withdrawal of nutrients and amino acids and all the other supplements that I had been using here. So what were the bare necessities? The first was no pox. It's really bad to go cold turkey on no pox, and I had been dosing at 4 milliliters a day, so we kept that up. The second was iodine. Without water changes to replenish iodine, I considered it really important to do the 1 drop once per week. So that was twice while I was gone. And finally, super concentrated phytoplankton, 1 milliliter every other day, and that was to sustain the pod population. When I got home from vacation, things looked great. Now bear in mind that calcium, alkalinity, and magnesium are dosed using a dosing pump. So she didn't have to do anything with that. It was just the supplements that I was cutting back. And that's how I'm going to keep it. No pox, Lugol's, and once in a while when I see the big feeders out on the brain corals, I'll throw in some reef bugs. I'll run the tank for a while this way and just see what happens. See where I get by just keeping it simple. Okay, so I promised you something scary. Let's take a look. Here's my sump. Yeah, I need to do some work. Look at this. I have a new attachment to clean that, and I'll be doing a video about it. Some of you might know already what that is. The glass needs cleaning, but check it out. That is a luxuriant growth. I don't have any of that in my tank, just down here. Oh, why don't we lift up the lid of the algae scrubber? I'll see if I can do it with one hand. See what it looks like. Oh, yeah, I gotta do something about that because that's yellow slime and that's not good. Okay. So there you go. Pretty scary. That's tomorrow's job. Thanks so much for watching. As always, I really do appreciate it. I'd love to hear from you in the comments, and the next update for this tank will be in 2 weeks.